Hello, welcome to Inspirations by Terry. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I would like you to first hit the like button when you come in. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. And if you like what you hear after you listen to the video, share it with someone that you think can also benefit from the video. All right, so today we're going to continue on talking about women straightening their crown, even though our behavior is not mimicking who we really are as queens, but we still are queens, whether we demonstrate it or not, we are. And it's time for us to straighten our crown, right? So, in the last video, I'm sweating. There's a breeze blowing, but it's missing me. It's going everywhere else. It's missing me. So on the last video, I ended with how we as women, can be, show envy and jealousies and being competitive and, always competing with one another, because half of the time the men are not paying us any attention. So a lot of times when women are doing what they do, when they leave the house, it's for another woman usually, even though, we're like some kind of competition between women to women. It's a competitive thing, right? But today I want to continue on. And I want to talk about how us as women affects our children, because there goes my favorite friend, the fly. It affects our children because they're watching us. They're mimicking our behavior. We don't think they are, but they're just like have like this ongoing film that's going on in their head of us watching their parents, how we behave, how we respond, how we react to everything. And that's why I said that we have to be careful of the conversations that we have in front of our children. You can always tell what kind of woman raised certain children, because you can see how disrespectful they could be, or how they, how they respond to their seniors, or how they respond to people in authority based on their actions. You could tell what was demonstrated in front of them, how their parents or their mother was. So if you're angry, more than likely, you're going to have angry children. If you're always yelling and mean and frustrated, it's going to be demonstrated through your children. If you're twerking and acting like, everything's about the way you look in a sexual way, and everything's sexual and sexy and, provocative clothing, it's going to be passed on to your daughters. Not 100% across the board, but for the most part, it's going to be passed down to your daughters. If you come from a single home and you're a mother raising children all alone. If you're raising children alone, a single family household, more than likely when your children get older, they're going to be or think, it's okay. I don't need to have a man in my house. I can have a baby. I don't, like they think that it's okay. If you're dressing half naked and have your boobs hanging out, or, everything is geared to a sensual look, more than likely your kids are going to mimic that, and they're going to pick that up, and it's going to be passed down to the next generation. It's like, so they are what they see. So what kind of woman are you demonstrating to your children? And we as Hebrew women been through a lot, discrimination, hard to find jobs at the workplace. There's so much competition. There's so much competitiveness because we didn't come from an equal playing field, right? So a lot of times, Hebrew women are angry. It could be because you come from a single family home. You're angry, you didn't have a father. You saw your mom frustrated. You saw so many different things, and the anger is there, and it's justifiable. But when you recognize that the anger is there, what do you do with the anger? We have to redirect it. We have to refocus it. We have to use it to fuel us in a different direction. But you have to recognize that it's there and then do something about it, because it's not healthy to always walk around being angry. It's not good, and you hear so many, Hebrew men say, yeah, she's an angry black woman, they say, but she's angry Hebrew. She's angry. She's always angry. I wonder why, I wonder why, and then if we are in a single parenting household and we're a single mother raising our children by ourselves, why? Why is that? Why are we alone? Are we choosing the wrong mates? Are we getting them? How are we getting the mates that we have, or the boyfriends that we have, or our children's fathers? How are we attracting them into our lives that they're around just long enough to produce the baby and maybe stay for a little bit and then they're gone? Like, what's that all about? And that's why I want to share with, my young Hebrew ladies that don't let your relationship building always be about an external thing, because we need to examine what's going on within. Are we angry? Are we overly stimulated? Are we always thinking about sex? Are we always, watching these videos where the mainstream culture and the mainstream TV is always promoting sexual behavior, promiscuity, women half dressed, women with long weaves, women with the BBLs, and women with, these, hooker shoes, and women with all this stuff, everything external. But these same women who have all these things are miserable. Not all of them, but most of them. Some of them are committing suicide, on drugs. I mean, look, like I always use, for example, Whitney Houston. We're going to use her for an example. Whitney Houston was so beautiful. I mean, so beautiful to me, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. To me, she was beautiful. To me, she had the most beautiful singing voice. Beautiful. But she was broken. She had everything that we could even kind of think for: the money, the recognition, the fame, movies, records. But inside, she was still miserable. Like, what was it? Is it the fact that she was raised without her father? Was it the fact that she was raised by her auntie? Was not enough love being demonstrated? Could it be that, she longed for her mother? We don't know. But I'm going to tell you, me being raised by my mother, my father was in my life, but he didn't live in my home. But every time I pick up the phone to call him, or if he stopped by, because he would stop by often, he was there for me. But the only thing I wanted from him really at that time was money. Like, to me, he was like an ATM machine. Like, I would call him and like, hey, can I meet you? So-and-so, you working today? Can I come in? I need some money, And he would never deny me, because I felt like that was his way of showing me that he loved me, But how do we know? I mean, how many of us know that money cannot give you love? It cannot. And I'll never forget when I was a senior in high school, and I'm working now, I have a little part-time job, and I went where my dad was, where he used to always hang out at. And he saw me, and he used to call me Wooster. He said, "Hey, Wooster." And I was like, "Hi, how you doing?" Da 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 da. He said, "You want some money?" And I was like, "No, I don't want any money. I'm working now." And I said, "And plus, I want to just talk to you about something." I said, "You have a minute?" Because he was with some of his friends. And I said, "Do you have a minute?" So he walked up the street, and I said, in the past, every time I came to you, it was always about, can I have $3? I want to buy an outfit. I want to do this. I want to do that, And he would give it to me. I said, "But I want more. I want more from you." And I said, "So how about we start maybe once a week or once a month going out to dinner, just really getting to know each other better. Like I want to know about your childhood and, I just want to know about you. I don't want it to always be about money." And he looked at me, he said, "Oh, I would love that," and he gave me a hug. I was so happy. I was like, going on about my business to meet my girlfriend so we could go out. And I'm going to tell you, not even maybe 3 months later, he died. When I finally realized I wanted him, I wanted more of him, not what he could give me. I wanted more of him. And he was gone. My father was a construction worker. He built so many buildings in the town that I grew up in, banks and stores, and he was a masoner. And he fell off a scaffold, and he died on the scene, just dead. So I'm saying all that to say that a lot of times women are angry because lack of fatherhood. Fathers are so essential. And I believe that when we decide to have babies without them being present in the home, we do ourselves and we do our children a great disjustice. It's just it's not good. Father is needed. It's so important. So yeah, you have to make up in your mind that if I'm going to do this, and sometimes you can have a father in the home present and things don't come out the way that you want them to come out, but at least do it the right way and hope for the best. Okay? Another thing I wanted to talk about today is women. How are we as Hebrew women treating our men, treating our husbands, treating that significant other, the person that we're dating? Are we making it be about the way that we look, or are we giving them the true, authentic person that we are? Are we sharing with them, our hopes, our dreams, our desires of having things or turning things around? Are we telling them how we're working on ourselves to make ourselves better, whole? And that we know that no man, no husband, no boyfriend, no anyone can do it for us. The only somebody that can do it for us is first the Most High Yah, and secondly ourselves. That we are responsible for turning our situations around. We are responsible for the way that we show up. We are responsible for our disposition. We are responsible for the way that we interact with others. We are responsible for the legacy and the history and the memories that we are leaving and passing down to our children. We have to sit down with our kids, our daughters. I've been talking about our daughters, but we have to sit down with our sons. We have to tell them our struggles. We have to tell them what we went through. We have to tell them what we had to endure, what we had to go through in the workplace. We had to tell them how it was growing up in a single parent home and how it was not beneficial, or how you saw your mom always struggling, or how she was trying to make ends meet and do, be everything. No one was created to be everything. There's roles. We all have roles that we have to fulfill. And a woman has a certain part, and a man has a certain part. And a woman, I don't care how much you try. They make those songs, I'm a woman, I could bring home the bacon, fried up in the pan, and never let you forget you're a man, 'cause I'm a woman, all that stuff. No, I don't want to bring home the bacon. I want you to go get the bacon. When you bring it home, I'll fry it. Like, where do we get these perceptions from? We watch and we're programmed from the outside, and we're programmed from the TV and commercials telling us how we're supposed to be. We cannot allow someone else's perception of us, or someone else's narrative of us as Hebrews, be our story. We can't. We cannot. We have our own story. We are uniquely beautiful. We're uniquely different. We are not like any other culture. And until we realize the beauty in that, the beauty in who we are, and why we have always been targeted, and why they have come against us, and why they try to make everything black ugly. And you realize that when someone's always coming for you, or coming at you, or whatever, that there's something there they don't want you to know. And what it is that you are beautiful. You are special. You are chosen. You are a royal priesthood, chosen by the Most High to keep His commandments, to do as He required of us to do, so our lives wouldn't look the way that they look. Right? Excuse me. Hot. We have to get back to the basics, ladies. We have to get back to the things that matter the most. I'll never forget, I used to watch Deion Sanders when he was dating that girl who used to go with Babyface. I can't think of her name. Anyway, they had a show, right? And Deion was depressed. He said, my bedroom set maybe costs $7,000. My mattress costs $1,000, maybe $2,000. These clothes I have on, he just went and he put a number, an amount on everything. He said, but he was talking mainly about his bed. And he was saying how he paid all this money for his pillows, for his sheets, for all this stuff. He said, but at night he couldn't sleep. He couldn't sleep. So that's why I want you to know, no matter what you have, no matter what kind of money you have, material possessions you have, it doesn't bring happiness. Happiness and peace comes from within. And in order for us to give it away to someone else, we first have to obtain it and recognize that I want this in my life. I want to turn things around. I want to be a better mother. I want to be a better example, a better guide, a better sister, a better friend, a better neighbor. I'm talking about the Hebrew community. We have to be better with one another. We all have been broken. We all have been manipulated. I'm telling you, if you grew up in America, you can relate to what I'm saying. And the only way that we can turn things around in our community is recognizing the pain, recognizing what we've been through, and seeing how we can use that to turn it around and be better for the next generation, and even for ourselves. Create programs, create mentorships for the younger adults, create opportunities, create something for the sisters, for each other, how we can grow and how we can support one another without it being with anything else, with no hidden agendas, no hidden anything else. Just let's just try. If it works, it works. And I also know this too, that two can't walk together unless they agree, because there's going to be so many people who think and behave and act this way and do this way. But find your tribe, find your circle, find where you fit in and where you're supposed to be, and begin there, and just begin right there. It could be a person, it could be two people, it could be three people. It's not always about the numbers. It's not about the how it looks. It's about the quality of what you're doing and who is being affected by it, and are they learning something from it. If it's one person, that one young lady you can reach, and she'll say, you know what, that's it. I'm not having any children until I'm married. I'm not marrying anyone until I'm whole, till I know that I'm not looking outward for anything that no one can give me. I'm going to look within, and I'm going to trust the Most High Yah to help me be the best Hebrew woman that I could be. Because after all, I was created in His image, in His likeness. And if He created me, I know I'm worth something. And if He created me, I know that there's beauty here. And if He created me, I know that there's creativeness here. So, let's start with ourselves. And then within ourselves, then we have to see how we ourselves are reflecting every other relationship that stems from us. Every other relationship, how am I coming off to that person? How am I coming off to my husband, to my children, to my sister, to my auntie, to my neighbor? How am I showing up? How am I showing up? We have to start looking within. Okay? All right. Thank you guys. Again, I want to leave you. I think last week when I told you the scripture reference for Proverbs, I knew I was wrong, and I was wrong. I think I said Proverbs 24, but it's Proverbs 14:12 says, "There is a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is destruction." Proverbs 14:12. There is a way that seems right to me. Well, I think it's right that, every time I go out to eat with you, you should pay. Every time. Is that right? I have a feeling that's going to end in destruction. I'm not going to probably be asked out to eat too many times, right? Possible. That was an example. I hope it was a good one. And another one is Proverbs 3, 4, and 5. It says, if we acknowledge the Most High Yah in all of our ways, no matter how big, small, whatever. Lord, I'm about to go to the grocery store. Direct me to the place where I need to go. The aisle that's having the sales. Lead me on the streets, which street I should go down. Just acknowledge Him in everything you're about to do. He might redirect you to say, like, hey, don't go to ShopRite today. Today I want you to go to Giant. Like, I don't know. But if we acknowledge Him, He will direct our paths, even in our lives, even with our children, even with ourselves, even with our community. Teach me, show me how to be a better, stop. Show me how to be a better me. Because after all, I'm only trying to improve me. I am in competition with no one. I'm trying to be a better Terry than I was last year, a month ago. Okay? Be blessed, and I shall see you on the next video. All right. Bye-bye.